and we'll move on to our second speaker. Michael, I appreciate that. I got so much out of that. I have notes. I have notes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Take another few seconds. You're going to hear means knock it off.
We couldn't hear the sound.
Oh, you couldn't?
No.
All right, can't hear it? All right, I'll go get my other bell during the next speaker. So I'll go get my other bell. I was trying to be kind, but apparently it's not picking up. All right, that being said, it's time to move to our second speaker. So this is another exciting one. So our next speaker is no stranger to the stage or the business of speaking. He's a certified world-class speaking coach, a seasoned entrepreneur, and the former president of the National Speakers Association of Northern California. Today, as part of his Level 3 project in the Pathways Persuasive Influence, he'll present a powerful framework he calls the 3M Shift, designed to help speakers like us turn our experience into income and our message into a business. So with his talk entitled The 3M Shift, help me welcome Gary McKenzie.
Would it surprise you to know that 81% of individuals believe there's a plan or a purpose for their life? Would it also surprise you that despite this widespread belief, only about 25% of Americans report having a clear sense of their own life purpose or their life's dream? However, when it comes to actively participating or living in alignment with their purpose, only 5% of individuals feel they're following and living their purpose. This figure highlights a notable gap between belief in a universal life purpose, your dream, and the personal clarity and implementation of such a purpose in your life. This also points out the importance of guidance and actionable steps for individuals like you seeking to transition from merely believing in a life purpose to actively living their life purpose. Now, regardless of where you are in the 25%, which I suspect most of you are, since you're here, you're in that rare 5% that are living your life purpose. Either way, you'll leave here with proven, time-tested tools and techniques you can use to enhance your journey. What if the wisdom you've gained through your life experience is pointing you towards your life purpose? That was certainly my situation. A series of books I read helped me move from being extremely shy and lacking in self-confidence to opening the doors to opportunities I never felt possible, never even imagined. Opportunities like being able to meet and work with 3 presidents of the United States, chairing Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger's Small Business Committee. Never, ever thought those opportunities would come my way. So just imagine waking up each day feeling there's something more meaningful you should be doing. Perhaps you even know that you should be doing. However, you just don't know how to get there. Or even worse, the feeling of frustration because you don't have the self-confidence to even try. This frustration of feeling stuck, even though deep down, you know there's a greater potential for you. However, you lack self-confidence, and not taking action will only lead to what? An ongoing life of frustration, unhappiness. Can you relate? I can. That was me for over 20 years until I realized this feeling of frustration was directing me to the next chapter of my life. Did I realize this might be my greatest chapter of my life? We don't know. We're still moving forward. We'll find out. So if you're ready to step into that next chapter of your life, it's no accident that you're here as part of the professional speakers. It's because you are embarking on your next greatest chapter of your life. Hello, my name is Gary McKenzie, and for over 40 years, I've worked with individuals from all walks of life. People have been employees, educators, technicians, caretakers, and at some point, they all felt this same this pull from their heart, saying, I think I'm supposed to do something more. I believe I have something to share, something that could really benefit others. And yet, most of them hit a wall, not because they don't have the knowledge or the heart, it's because they don't know how to begin. Today, I want to introduce you to a process I call the 3M shift. This changed my life, certainly changed the life of many of my clients. The 3M shift encompasses mindset, marketing, and mission. It's a simple but powerful framework to help you shift to finding and confirming your life purpose. The path to a life purpose is not about big investment. You think about starting a business. It's not this. It's not about big investment. It's not even about taking big financial risks, although it may require a little bit of personal risk only because you're putting yourself out there where you might be criticized. However, put yourself out there so you can risk success. So, this is all about getting clear on three processes. As I mentioned, your mindset, your marketing, your mission. And when those three come together, oh my goodness, your life will be aligned with your powerful forces, powerful universal forces that will bring about life changing experiences for you. So I asked, are you ready? I'm sure you are. As aspiring professional speakers, finding and aligning with your life purpose isn't just beneficial, it's essential. Because audiences resonate with speakers who are clear and passionate and purpose driven. So, first, let's begin with that first M, mindset. Do you believe in yourself? You'll never believe in your business or your message unless you believe in yourself. I've experienced so many individuals that lack a positive mindset and they let it hold them back. Not because they lack skills, it's because they doubt their self worth. I've had so many speakers say to me, I'm too old to start over. Or, gee, I don't know about marketing. What if I fail? Oh, and the most frequent one I hear is, who would want to hear what I have to say? After all, I'm just a nobody. I want to assure you, there are thousands of people that need to hear exactly what you say. So let me tell you something. A negative mindset leads to frustration and self doubt. The way of thinking is just an old self defeating habit that holds you back, maybe something from your childhood. And surprisingly, it's easier to be negative than it is to be positive and optimistic. But the good news, this negative thinking can be changed. Your mindset, which is governed by your subconscious mind, controls how you react to and think about your abilities and situations. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale's books The Power of Positive Thinking, which is where I first was introduced to mindset and the power of mindset. Now, based on the 4-part process he laid out in his series of books and my own personal experience, I've developed the 3M shift. And you'll leave here today with a firm understanding of how you can apply the 3M shift to clarify your thinking, accelerate the growth of your business. So that first M, mindset. This starts with prayer or meditation. You do this by getting quiet with your thoughts. You get grounded in your purpose. This process puts you into this universal flow of power. However, I have a caution for you. It's a question to ask yourself as you pursue your life purpose. Will this harm others? If the answer is yes, stop and reevaluate. Your life purpose is never about harming others. It's about benefiting others. So now your first step on this journey is practice. Practice visualizing the outcome you want. How do you do this? Well, first of all, you vividly picture the outcome. What will you be seeing, hearing, and feeling when you've achieved your outcome, your goal? You want to practice this daily. In fact, I recommend pausing and taking a moment or two and practice it 3 times a day. This will get you on your way. And practice the feeling of joy you'll experience when you've realized you have achieved your goal. What will you be seeing, hearing, and feeling? And by doing this, you're connecting emotionally with your subconscious mind. If you know, your subconscious mind doesn't make judgments, it believes whatever you tell it. So you want to tell it positive information. When you do, your brain starts working with you instead of against you. Your energy changes, your outlook shifts, and possibilities open up. However, you must believe before you build. Remember, remember, the first sale and the most important sale is the one you make to who? To yourself. You have to believe in yourself. So every time I discuss this first damn mind shift, I can't help but think about Mindy. Mindy was in her mid-30s and lacking self-confidence. And the first time I spoke with her, she said, Gary, I feel so stuck. I feel invisible. I know I need to gain self-confidence and improve my communication skills. Can you help me? Oh, that's the words we all want to hear. So over the next 3 months, she worked on shifting her mindset through daily visualization and practicing positive self-talk. She also joined Toastmasters so she could have the experience of speaking in public. And then Mindy moved away. I didn't hear for a year. I still vividly remember her phoning me. I could hear the excitement in her voice as she said, Gary, this is Mindy. I want to let you know I was just promoted to VP of events for my company, where I'll be on stage weekly leading programs. And I want to let you know this mind shift stuff you taught me really works. Okay, now I know it works. However, it's always heartwarming to hear how individuals have used it to change their life. So that's my first M, mindset. The second M, marketing, speaking to the heart of your audience, not their wallet. Hey, money's okay, but we want to touch their heart. So let's delve into marketing. And I've heard this so many times. Gary, I want to start a business, but I don't know how to market. I don't know how to sell. In fact, selling makes me feel kind of sleazy. I get it. Traditional marketing feels intimidating. However, you don't need slick ads or a big budget. What you need is a marketing plan and the courage to tell your unique story. When we think about unique stories, sometimes individuals say, but Gary, there's nothing all that unique about my story. I ask them, have you ever heard a love song? How many love songs do you think are written every year? They're all basically the same, but yet each song touches some group of individuals' hearts and moves them forward. Your story is unique, and there are people that need to hear your story. So focus on marketing that's creative, authentic, low cost, and high impact. It's perfect for anyone, regardless of where you are in your marketing journey. You just need to get started. So, what you need is a message that moves people. Here's a time tested, proven truth. And you already know this, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. People don't buy your product, they buy your passion, they buy your why. Why do you do what you do? If you've overcome something or gained insight others haven't, don't hold back. Share it. Let them know what you've learned and how it will improve their lives. That's what they want to know. Remember, people are not so much interested in how you do it. I learned this the hard way back many years ago. So I was new in business. I owned an accounting firm, and a doctor phoned me to set up an appointment to talk about their accounting. Oh, I was excited. I met that doctor and I went through all the processes, everything we do. And then he asked me that question. Oh, that question. Gary, what makes you different from the other accountants? Our work products all look the same. I had no idea. Fortunately, a few months later, I was attending a conference and I was having lunch with a much older accountant at a very profitable practice. And I asked him the question that, have you ever been asked what makes you different? He chuckles. Gary, of course I have. You know how I answer it? Yes. I don't tell them what I do. I tell them, work with me and you'll make more money. You'll reduce your stress and you'll have more time off. That's what they want to know. How does your message, how does working with you change their life? So here's a simple trip. Instead of thinking, how do I promote my business? How do I connect with someone today? This shifts from promoting to connecting. And remember, connection is everything. And that's what makes this type of marketing so powerful. It's not just smart, it's heart centered. It's not persuasive, it's personal. So if you've been holding back because marketing isn't your thing, it's time to shift your mindset. Because your story is your strongest marketing tool. And please consider writing down your personal story that relates to your audience. And you may have more than one story, but write down a personal story, heartfelt, that relates to a specific audience, your audience. You might think of this as your signature story. Once you have it, then practice it showing your emotions, authenticity, sincere stories with heartfelt emotion. That's what it takes to connect with your audience. In fact, I'm going to challenge you. I write about your story, publish it. Oh, and then here's the next bold step. Create a video about it, maybe a series of TikTok videos. But share it on social media. Start engaging from the heart. This third M is very important. Mission, your why. Align your business with your life purpose. This is your why. It's not about making money, although I say money's nice. Money's nice. However, it's about making meaning. Your mission is your message. You were born to deliver. But when you're clear on your mission, it becomes your compass your North Star that guides everything else you do. What you say yes to and what you say no to. It's how you spend your energy, your time each day. So let me give you a simple exercise. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to complete this sentence. Here's the sentence. I work with, fill in the blank, what specific group of individuals you work with. So they can identify the transformation that you provide. How do you change their life? So that's it. That one sentence brings focus and purpose and clarity. So for me, for example, I work with people shifting from an employee to entrepreneur so they can build a business around their life purpose. That's mine. Let me give you 10 seconds. Write down yours. I work with, describe who you work with so they can, how does it change their life? Just 10 seconds. This simple exercise will guide you to keep your business aligned with your mission so you don't have to force it. You're not chasing clients, you're attracting them. You're not trying to figure it all out. They're flowing towards you with you. And when you speak to the heart, people can feel it. That's why today's world needs more people rooted in purpose, more life living their mission. Because when you show up fully aligned, you don't just build a business, you build a legacy. So bringing it all together, mindset, believe before you build, marketing, connect from the heart, mission, align your business with your life purpose. So now as we close, I challenge you, take that next step. Today, commit to aligning your message with your mission. Now step boldly in your speaking career by believing deeply in marketing authentically and living purposefully because the world needs your voice. Don't wait. Start your 3M shift today. The path to purpose driven speaking business. And what's one belief you can upgrade today? What's one message you can share this week that reflects your purpose? What one person can you help with what you already know? Take that step. Again, not someday, right now. This is the time. Take the step. Begin to live your life purpose and change the lives of individuals around you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Gary. People, everybody take a minute to write some notes for Gary before we start with our evaluators. All right. So here's the new thing. Tell me you hear that, Sarah.